welcome to another edition of Local Focus. I'm your host, Sebastian Noel. It is almost state championship football time, which for me means we're closer to basketball. But football fans out there, you can catch our football schedule. Go to proviewNetworks.com. Links to all those broadcasts with the 2A championship coming up this weekend, and then, of course, Bigger Schools Championship coming up before we head into basketball. We have a lot of show today, so let's get right to it. Two guests today. So my first guest is, without a doubt, the best defensive player in the state of New Mexico, Emily Burke of the West Mesa Mustangs. Emily, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Just made an exciting announcement that you're going to be going to play basketball at Highlands, so we'll get to all that. But you pretty much do it all at West Mesa, right? So it's not just basketball. Talk about some of that.
I play 3 sports. I play volleyball, and I've played varsity since I was a freshman, basketball, and then tennis.
And when did all that start?
I've been playing volleyball I played in middle school, but I just decided to try out instead of playing soccer, because I did play soccer as a kid, but I decided to play volleyball because Otero was the coach for volleyball my freshman year. And so I played volleyball, I really liked it, and then basketball, and then tennis. Otero as well was the coach, so he wanted me to try it, and I really...
Manny's got bills to pay, so he's got to coach all these sports,
yeah.
Right? So, but when did, I guess, way before high school, what were you... Obviously, the basketball had to start at a super young age for you to be this talented, but what else was going on at that younger age as far as sports, athletics?
So the first thing I ever did was ballet, and I didn't like it because it wasn't like high speed and fast pace. And so then I asked to join soccer. So I joined soccer, and I really enjoyed it. But my mom had put me in basketball when I was around 5, 6. And I played soccer and basketball all the way up until my 7th grade year. And then we decided to choose between basketball and soccer because we were traveling for both.
Right. That sounds like an expensive...
Yeah.
expensive upbringing, all those travel teams. So we get to basketball, you get to West Mesa, and there's this super team, right? Or, well, you know, a good team, obviously, with very high expectations. What did you think of that coming in?
Coming in, I already knew the girls that were there, and I knew that they were really good. We always knew about Maya and SB, and hearing how their season turned around their freshman year, and West Mesa was now being like recognized and known, it just made me wanted to improve the school even more.
Right.
Going there, coming in as a freshman, we did have a few good players like me, Jazz. There was girls that could change and help to hopefully win state. That was our goal from the beginning. So
the expectations kind of came the year before that with Maya and SB, and then here come these freshmen. Obviously, that's the group you come into. And just talk about that. Did everything gel right away? Was it a difficult adjustment? What's the hardest adjustment?
I think the hardest adjustment was playing with girls that are playing against girls that are 4 years older than you. Yeah, we did play up in club. We played up 2 years, 3 years, but there's just body is so much different. It's grown and older, and everybody's more mature compared to playing your own age group.
Right. And the fact that you guys really didn't have a lot of upperclassmen, and the fact that you guys are all pretty short.
Yeah.
That had to compound that, right? There's some teams in the city, obviously, that were much bigger. I mean, what was the first game that you can remember as a freshman where you're like, wow, this is a different speed, those guys are a different size, where it kind of really showed up, the difference?
I think what game I really remember from my freshman year was the game versus Oñate. And I can really remember that game. It was the first round of state at Rio Grande, and the game was just so up-tempo, and it was really fast-paced. Like, we didn't know we were going to win. That's like, it's different.
Well, I have a lot
so
of questions about that game.
Yeah,
so
it's so fast.
I'm glad you brought that game up.
Yeah.
So the season, obviously, you guys are putting together a very dominant season. People are starting to find roles, whether that be offensive players, you're the lockdown defender, and so you're heavily favored going into the tournament. What had you heard about Oñate heading into that game?
I knew they had a player that was really, really, really good, and everybody talked about her. I can't really remember her name at the moment, but she was really good, and everybody talked about her and how much she could score. She was a really good offensive player and defensive player, but she was known for her offense.
So by that point, it's your second year, or it's West Mesa's second year in the playoffs. It's your freshman year, excuse me. And at this point, like, the expectations are pretty high around the program. Like, you guys are regularly playing in front of a full gym, which is rare in Albuquerque, to have full gyms anywhere, really, at the high school level, right? And the expectations are so high. What were nerves like going into that game?
It was really nerve-wracking, especially because we weren't in our own gym.
Right.
We were at Rio Grande, and I just felt like we needed to help do it for the school. The school needed some recognition, and I was hoping that we could do that for them.
And the game's not going well, obviously.
Yeah.
And so did you ever think, you have this dominant season going, but here's a game where literally if your defense doesn't save their it's lights out, the season's over.
Yeah.
Like, did you think it would come to that?
Especially in the state tournament, you have to think of every game like it's your last. And that one, we all had to pull it together because we knew it was going to be our last game if we lost. And that's when it comes down to the wire where everybody has to play their best.
So what's going through such a young team's mind where nothing is working offensively?
Well, I think we were a young team, but we were all very mature in the way we played because we had been playing basketball. Everybody had been playing for a really long time. Nobody was new. Everybody played club. We all knew how to play together. At that point, we had already gelled. And it was just the matter of who wanted it more.
Right. And so at the end of that game, 9 steals, right?
Yes.
9 steals. I mean, did you think after the game, like, wow, that was a close call? What was the team's mindset? Because that was as close as a loss towards that end of the season that was experienced, right? So what was the team mindset after that game? Because that was a close call.
I think it really opened our eyes because we had won so much during the season. I think we got comfortable, and I think it helped us in a way, like, not just that year, it helped us my sophomore year and my junior year because we realized we weren't just going to win. We had to actually work for it and play our best no matter what.
All right. So 9 steals, you guys move on, you advance. We're going to take our first time out here, do a commercial break, talk more with Emily. But if at the end of that season, if you didn't have your ballot filled out with Emily at the top for Defensive Player of the Year, that's what you should have done. We'll be right back.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Perez Collision Center is a proud sponsor of Proview Networks and Albuquerque Boxing. Perez Collision Center offers expert knowledge on any of your auto body and paint needs. Give them a call today, 505-254-4655, or stop by for a visit at 2415 2nd Street Northwest in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Perez Collision Center.
Hi, I'm Nathan Smith, owner of Realty Executives Advantage right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've built my business on honesty, hard work, and the willingness to do whatever it takes to get the deal done. For me, it's not just about the one sale. It's about developing the relationship. Just ask Drew. My goal is to become your trusted real estate advisor. I truly want to be your realtor for life.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
All right, we're back with West Mesa Mustang, Emily Burke. So you get past that, you move into the latter rounds of the tournament. Take us through that.
Okay, so second round is at Santa Ana, and we played Rio Rancho. Yes, and it was definitely very different. The vibe from the gym, it's completely different. Shooting, playing defense, offense, it's all different, and it really hit us.
Right, obviously.
Well,
it's interesting that you said it's different for even what makes it different defensively?
I think even the stands, how they're just up, everything's just different. For as playing on the court, the court's different. Running on the court, because the court is it feels hollow because it's like
it's 20-year-old Thunderbird court, right? Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
totally different.
Right.
Running on it, dribbling on it, anything.
So obviously you fall short of a goal that year.
Yes.
At that point, 2 years in a row for the team, 1 year with you. Is there a mental thing? Like, oh man, we really can't shoot here at the Star Center. Is that starting to go through the team? Because that's what everyone was saying on the outside, obviously.
Yeah.
Was, man, the Star Center is going to get them every time. What was going through the mindset of the team at that point?
That's what was going through my mind. I'm like, this in Santa Ana, it's hard to shoot because of the lights coming through the baskets, and I mean, not making excuses, but it's different.
Right.
It's totally a different adjustment, and we just couldn't make it.
I've done PA there every year, and I've seen teams just. I don't think I've ever seen a team shoot well there. So I mean, it's definitely a thing, right? So I mean, after the season, was it talked about at all? Like, man, how are we going to get over this, or what goes? I guess what goes through the off season of a team like that was expected to do so much, came up a little short.
I think what we told each other was that we just needed to work harder throughout the summer. That we didn't do what we needed to do in the summer and in preseason to help us go all the way to the state championship.
Right. So you get to the next season. Obviously, you're in a different district. Which do you think that helped? I think it helped.
I think it helped us completely.
Right. For those of you that didn't know, West Mesa was in a different district before that they tended to breeze through. So you're in this new district, which obviously presents new challenges. But then there's a little bit of trouble in paradise. So there's some chemistry issues in the middle of the year, something that you guys hadn't faced before. I mean, what was that like to work through as a team and as an individual?
We just needed to be closer and bring each other up because, yeah, there was some issues, but in the end, as long as we had each other and we all wanted the same goal, we were going to achieve it.
Right. I mean, was there a time where you're thinking in your mind, man, this could really derail things, or is everyone pretty much, take us inside?
I think everybody thought this could be something that hurts us, but at the same time, we all wanted it so bad for each other, not just for ourselves, but for each other and for the school. I think it helped us all be together and win.
So next tournament starts. I think the point I was making around the office here was it's already like a first round win mentally, not having to play in the Star Center. I mean, were you guys relieved at the tournament changing where you guys wouldn't be at the Star Center?
I was. I just wanted to play. I like playing in the pit, and it's a different atmosphere, and I was excited that it wasn't going to be where we lost the last 2 years.
So we're fast forward to the championship. Hobbs gets off to this incredible start. What's going through your mind on the floor?
I was like, we're going to get killed for the state championship. I was like, this is so not okay. And I think that's what turned it around, was everybody was like, this is not okay. We are not going to get killed in the state championship. We have to do something about it.
Pretty big crowd, probably 90% Mustangs fans.
Yeah.
And I believe it was 21, right? Was it 21 points they were up?
Yeah, they went on a 21
Can I be honest?
run.
I've never admitted this to any player on the team, but I stopped watching.
Oh, yeah.
I was up there, and I was like, no, this can't be happening again. And I kind of, we started to do a live show on the concourse of the pit.
Yeah.
And I walked over there. I told the guy that was hosting the show, I said, dude, I need something else to do. Get out of the chair. I'll host the show. I can't watch what's going on behind me anymore on the floor. And I kind of do that show. We hosted for about 10, 15 minutes. And then I turn around, and it's a game.
Yeah.
Like, how did you guys make it a game?
Second quarter, right before we started picking things up, Otero did have a deep talk with us, and all of us realized tonight.
This is it, right?
Tonight is like the night we need to put everything together. Everything we worked for, everything since we were little, leading up to now, everything needs to be all out on the floor. And I think that really changed everything.
Right. So after a championship, obviously 2 big pieces graduate. One's playing at Army, one's playing at Highlands. You come back, Defensive Player of the Year, best player defensively in the state. Now it's your team. Obviously some really nice pieces with it still. But there's a lot on your plate now. There's 2 big players leaving. You're starting to think about college.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where was your mind at heading into this year?
My mind at heading this year, I'm playing a different role this year. And normally my role was defense, but this year I really have to pick it up with offense and utilize my teammates way more than I'm used to.
Right.
My role has to be totally different than it was last year. It has to be the same, but also completely different.
And obviously the big thing off your shoulders now is where you're going to play at the next level.
Yeah.
You announced that you're playing at Highlands, so tell us about that quickly.
I'm so excited because Coach Anders, he really took a shot at me, and I'm excited because I'm thankful that he's giving me this opportunity.
And your parents will continue to get to watch right here on Proview Networks, as we are the home of Highlands basketball, right? So that's pretty cool. The big family gets to keep watching locally, right?
Yes.
Well, Emily, thank you so much for coming in, and congratulations on your announcement. Next, I'm going to introduce you to someone that plays football, and then he stays on the field at halftime because he's in the band. How cool is that? We'll be right back.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Hey, welcome back to the program. Thanks to Emily Burke. My next guest today, let's count the ways he is more talented than us. He's from El Dorado, plays football, and then at halftime, he stays on the field because he's a member of the band. HunterBruney is my guest. Hunter, thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
I'm doing an El Dorado game at the beginning of the season, and obviously it stands out when one member of the band's in uniform, right?
Yeah.
So I just thought, man, that was the coolest thing. I had to have you in. So, first of all, tell our audience, what instrument and what position you play in football.
For football, I play outside linebacker, and then in the band, I'm trombone.
So, I guess let's talk about the challenges of that on both sides. What challenges does it present from the band side?
There's a lot of challenges, just trying to have everything come together because we'll have competitions for band on the same days for practices, and then we'll have games with marching.
Right.
So it's just always a challenge trying to make sure everything comes together. So I would just have to choose like whatever one's more important. So if I have a competition, I have to go to the competition, even if that means I'm missing a football practice. So I just have to keep choosing whatever one is more important.
And then what challenges does it present on the football side?
On football side, probably just getting time to try to practice my trombone because I'm up early in the morning for band and then staying all the way till when football practice ends. So it's just trying to find time to have time to play my trombone and get ready for marching and trying to memorize everything with that.
So, this wouldn't even be possible at a lot of schools because some schools have morning football practice, which would be at the same time as band, right? So, luckily El Dorado, I know Coach Dodson usually goes in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
So that helps out a little bit. But, how receptive is your football coaching staff? How receptive is your band director? How has that historically worked?
They've all been very helpful. Like, all I have to do is just, if I have to miss a practice, I just go to Coach Dotson and just say, hey, I'm missing practice today because I have to get ready for this competition that we have. And then same thing with band. Tuesdays after school, we have after school rehearsals. And I just had to let my band director know, he's saying, hey, I have a practice today, so I'm not going to be able to show up. And they're just all like very helpful and understanding of that I'm doing both.
Which that's got to be pretty cool because I could imagine there'd be some football coaches that would just not be receptive to that, right? Have you ever been in a situation where you thought, oh man, I might have to give one of these up, or has it always been smooth sailing?
Back in when 8th grade, like getting ready for high school, I was worrying a lot because I always wanted to do both, and I never thought I would be able to do both, so I was worried trying to figure out which one I wanted to do.
So here's a question. Which one would draw a stricter or more brutal talking to? A missed note from your band director or a missed play and Coach Dotson?
Probably a misplay with Coach Dotson.
So Coach Dotson's doghouse a little worse than the band director's. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So how are your teammates? Your teammates are your teammates as jacked up as I am about this, thinking that it's cool? That's got to be pretty neat, right, for the whole team?
I think a lot of them find it very cool that I'm doing both, and just thinks it's awesome that we have a band person on the football team.
All right. Now, can you remember a game where you really just thanked the heavens that, man, I'm so glad I'm out here playing in the band at halftime because I do not want to hear what's going on in the locker room? Is there a game that you can remember?
It was probably Las Cruces, where we're just down a lot by halftime, and just knowing that the coaches are probably not too happy about that.
Right.
And then with Cleveland game, since our band doesn't go there, I get to hear everything.
Okay. So now obviously the next question that would logically come out of that is an X's and O's question, because obviously Coach Dotson and the assistant coaches, they're making X and O adjustments at halftime, right?
Yeah.
So how do those get to you?
Usually after like halftime performances, I just kind of run up there.
Okay.
And if they have anything to tell me, they just tell me right there. And then pre-games, it's kind of just the same thing. I just perform and then head up, and if they have anything to tell me, they just tell me it.
And so that's got to present some different challenges as well, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, has there ever been a game where you thought, man, you know, I'm not prepared for this second half because maybe I didn't get that instruction at half, or has it always been pretty smooth sailing?
For the most part, it's been pretty smooth. Probably the Del Norte game, where I kind of played more of the second half. So I'm kind of thankful that we played pregame for that, and so I get to hear what we had to fix for the second half to finish out the game.
Right. And so I don't want to shortchange the band side, so I'm going to ask the same question but the other way. Has there ever been a time where, you know, I'm sure the band director is doing a lot before you guys go out at halftime too, right? So there's no chance for the band director to really talk to you or anything ahead of the half. So has that ever happened where you maybe didn't get instructions there, or, you know, I mean, you got to be under the gun for that too, right?
It's kind of the same thing, pretty easy. Just the one problem is like I need some time to warm up.
Right.
So
how does that happen?
I kind of just wing it and like play softly when everyone else is kind of playing loudly, and just try to warm up while playing in the middle of it.
Right.
And just throughout the show, I'll get more warmed up where I could play a lot louder.
Have you, I guess this might be a stupid question, but have you played against someone else that has done what you've done, or are you the Lone Ranger in New Mexico that you know of?
I'm the Lone Ranger that I can know
The
of.
Lone Ranger. Wow, that is pretty cool. What, I mean, what do you? How long do you anticipate doing both? I mean, you're what grade are you in now?
I'm a junior right now.
Okay, so senior year, you anticipate continuing this and all the way through?
Going to senior year, yeah, and then probably just getting ready for college, just because probably colleges won't allow football, and just probably see like if I get any scholarships for either, and just doing whatever I think I would want to do.
Well, that is pretty exciting. I mean, we're running out of time, Hunter, but you ever stop to think like, man, you know, a lot of people in high school, they choose between one or the other, and you've been able to maintain both. You ever think about how special that is?
Yeah, it's pretty special, and then just thinking of like people in the stands, like what they're thinking, like all they think is this, oh, all these people are just football players, and then just all of a sudden I'm running off to the track just to get my instrument and then running back on.
Right.
And then just some people talk to me, like one of my friends on football, his little brother says he wants to do the same thing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly what drew my attention. Well, Hunter, thanks for coming in and making time for us, man. I think it's awesome, and keep it up. Thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.